What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys that do not know me, my name is Svet and I play the mobile game Rise of Kingdoms on Apple and Android. Tonight's video is going to be a little bit different. It's more so actually a reminder / instruction kind of video for my kingdom and my alliance specifically. I am in Kingdom 1846 and I'm in the alliance Watch It Burn. We are coming into the end here of stage 3 of Eve of the Crusade. So we are about to go into the Lost Kingdom. So like I said, this video is a little bit different tonight because it is just reminders and tips as we go into Lost Kingdom for what we are looking to accomplish early on, especially in the first 24 really to 36 hours. Just the first day-ish, maybe 2 days, how we want to play it, what we want to do in terms of getting ourselves set up and getting going as quickly as possible, as well as some other general reminders and tips that we are recommending for everybody in our kingdom and in our alliance overall. So I'm going to cover, let's see, I've got 7 points to cover here tonight for this video. It'll be very, very short, but real quick, if you guys do like content and videos about Rise of Kingdoms, especially something like this where I'm basically telling you how we are preparing to spend our first day, 2 days, maybe 3 days in the Lost Kingdom as we go into KVK. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will have plenty of content coming at you from the Lost Kingdom in the KVK that we are about to get started in fighting here tonight. So, like I said, about 7 points. The first one here is right when we go, so in approximately an hour and 45 minutes, maybe a couple of hours, we are going to be able to go into the Lost Kingdom. So the first thing we want to do when we get in there, and this is the recommendation specifically for my alliance, Watch It Burn, but also what we're recommending for the Kingdom 1846. We want to get that fortress built ASAP so we can start to build our territory in the Lost Kingdom. So the first thing you want to do is be prepared to send a march over to the fortress. Now, it really depends on how far away you are from that fortress, but we want to send as low as 20,000 to as much as 100,000 per player in terms of troops. Doesn't matter on the troop type, but we do want to have marches going there as soon as possible. The biggest thing is going to be here is, one, just be ready to send a march. Be willing to send it even if it's 45 minutes to get you there. But really keep an eye out for the markers as well. So our leadership is going to put up markers in our alliance showing us and telling us exactly how many troops they want us to send per player. Now, we might do a little bit of back and forth in this where, if there's some players that are really, really far away, we may have people that are closer fill it up front to the brim maximum. That way we can have it filled up with troops the entire time. But this is something that's actually really cool that we've been talking about tonight is the more players you have building the fortress at once, the faster it actually goes. So you'd be better off having, X amount of players, say, 25,000 a player at 80 marches, 80 different players. You'd rather have that many players rather than having, say, 10 players with 200,000 each. So our goal here is to really try to get as many people into that fortress building it as possible. That way it builds the fastest. Number 2 is to farm smaller RSS nodes or gems at the start. So right when we get in, like I said, you're going to want 1 or 2 marches set up for building the fortress, but then you're going to have 3 free. So you can start to farm smaller stuff at that point, whether it's gems or like really small RSS nodes, whether it's gold or stone or something like that. Gems is what I'm planning on doing really early on. So when I'm in there, I'm going to send my 1 or 2 marches to the fortress and I'm just going to go crazy farming gems. We're going to have lots of good gem nodes to pick from. And even though, I do buy stuff and I've got a decent supply of gems here, I'm really going to try to take advantage of these gems while I can before I really got to get into the resource farming as well. Okay, point number 3 here is to how to port onto Alliance territory. So I've got a video here submitted by Diesel. He gave us an example today of how to port perfectly onto Alliance territory. Now, this may be common sense for a lot of us, but it can be really tricky, right? So we wanted to show you exactly how we want it done. That way we can be the most efficient as possible in terms of territory, getting as many players as possible onto our territory, and as many resource nodes within our territory as possible as well. So I'm going to play this video real quick from Diesel just to show you guys exactly how we're thinking we want to port. He is moving, it looks like, one of his farms over to his main, probably to offload some resources before we go in tonight. And so what he's going to do here is hit that port button. And you can use whatever you want, targeted or alliance territory. You want to get as close as you possibly can and right on the edge of that territory. And as you can see, he pushed it all the way up to his city where the circle was red. It wasn't going to let him port. And then he moved it just a little bit more to the right until it allowed him to actually port right there. And as we come back to my screen right now, you can see where that farm actually is. So he's got it right there. He's about as close as possible that he can be to his own city and this other city as well, Mr. Deed. So we want it to be as efficient as possible. We want to be lined up along our borders, kind of like that. There's another good stretch right here. So in this example, that's really not the best port. We're not here in the Lost Kingdom, so it's not the end of the world. We got a bunch of territory in our home kingdom right now. But you want to see like this. You want to see these lines of players on the edges of our territory, because what that's going to do is it's going to maximize the amount of resource nodes we can get inside of our territory. Okay, and then the fourth point I'm getting into here is after our territory is established, our priority turns to farming any and all RSS nodes that we can that are within Alliance territory. So while we do have open farming, and you are still allowed to farm, of course, wherever you want, we do highly encourage farming resources that are within our territory in the beginning in the Lost Kingdom. The reason for that is we do need to build up resources to build out these flags that we're going to need to build. We're going to need fortresses. We're going to need flags. We're going to have a lot of building to do once we get into the Lost Kingdom. So we really want to try to be farming anything that we can that's in our territory. Point number 5 here is barbarians. So in the beginning, only use natural AP for killing barbs and barb forts. We want to save our AP pots for higher level barbs as we get later into KVK and get into the higher zones where we see barbs that are, 30 plus is really where we want to start using our AP pots, is when we see those higher level barbs that have much more honor given to us, and then much more resources that are coming back from them as well. From the get, guys, I know most of us have YSG and other AoE commanders. Use these commanders from the very beginning. Number 6, don't port farms into the Lost Kingdom. So this is something that we are not going to do forever, but in the beginning where we have all of our mains porting into Zone 4, we do not want to port our farms in there with us. We really want to be able to farm as much as possible in there. We've had scenarios in the past where people brought in farms. There's not enough resources to go around for everybody in our kingdom to go into that one zone in the beginning. We just don't have room for the farms. So guys, hold your farms back in 1846. Leave them in there until we're able to get into Zone 5. And then last point here is about the Lost Canyon. So first and foremost about the Lost Canyon, we do not want to hit other 1846 players. So we really want to maximize what we're able to get from the Lost Canyon shop. So do not hit any other 1846 players. The other pointer on the Lost Canyon is do it early. So as soon as we're able to get in there, as soon as that event is available, start your fight right away. Get going on it. It's a lot easier to defend a higher position than it is to claw your way up into the top spots. So as soon as that becomes available, go ahead, do every attempt that you have and get it going immediately. And again, just to finally reiterate, do not hit other 1846 players in the Lost Canyon. That is pretty much it, guys, for this little instructional video. It went a little bit longer than I thought, so I apologize about that. But that is basically it for what we want to do in the first 1, 2, maybe 3 days going into the Lost Kingdom. If you have any questions, go ahead. Send me a message on either in-game or in Discord. Also, Laguna, Diesel, Bronco, any of the other leaders in our kingdom, just go ahead and shoot them a message, and we will answer any of them that you guys still have. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was easy to understand for all of you guys. Like I said, this one was more specifically for my kingdom and my alliance, but if you guys like this type of content and you want to see the battles to come up here in KVK, hit that subscribe button and I will keep the content coming for you guys. Again, thanks for tuning in. I am so excited for KVK. Let's get it, guys.